At the Gotland's Museum in Visby, Tim and Simon get an idea of the kind of evidence so far discovered from 1361. This is just a small selection of a huge range of artefacts, including armour, weaponry, and human bones. One type of artefact is dominant among the finds made by the Masterby project so far: crossbow bolts. So far, many have been found, probably shot at Gotlanders by the invaders. Valdemar's army is known to have included German mercenaries, possibly some of whom were crossbowmen. The crossbow was a weapon feared on the medieval battlefield. It required less skill and strength to use than a longbow, and so was seen as a devilish, unfair device. A medieval terror weapon, ideal to break a lightly equipped militia like the Gotlanders and drive them back in panic.
This glass case contains essentially the Masterby collection, and if you can see, these are the classic crossbow bolts, and the second back from the right there is the classic short, stubby but heavy crossbow bolt, and this is from the battlefield at Masterby. So you brought one with you. Essentially it's the same size, shape and weight, because it's not a little bodkin, it's not a very narrow, slender artefact, is it? It's a big, heavy, serious piece of kit. But this is a Masterby collection, so this has come off the Masterby battlefield. Yeah. So basically these are crossbow bolts, there's no denying that, is there?
Yeah, I mean they're all the standard form, aren't they? But just varying size.
So that's important because we're getting continuity now between what is essentially being used across Europe at that time, and we've got them on the Masterby battlefield and we've got them on the Visby battlefield. So it's all the standard kit around that time. It's a short, stubby head as well. It's not a long, slender, like a bodkin arrowhead. So if it hit you in a piece of flesh, obviously you'd survive, but if that hit you in the face or in the head, it would take you down and you wouldn't bother getting up again.
Tim and Simon head out into the field to help with the survey. They soon find it's not a straightforward place to metal detect.
It's going really well. It's hard work. So many nails. Literally pounds and pounds of them in weight. So yeah, you're on your knees every 5 minutes and digging. But everything has to be investigated, so you could leave what you think's a nail and it could be a chainmail link or a fragment of something else. It's just a process of elimination. It's a surprise. Yet another nail.
The many nails are a hindrance to the metal detecting team. Scrap from more recent eras is a problem on most historical sites, especially on fields used for agriculture for hundreds of years.
This is the kind of thing, this is the stuff we've been finding on the battlefield. Mainly made up of nails and wire. There is the odd item, which is a fair digger. A lot of agricultural stuff. Got a piece of wire. Yeah, it's frustrating finding this sort of thing, but it's what you have to go through. It's part of the process. You have to remove these items to find the battle-related things. Yeah, I mean something like this. Looking at the metal, it looks quite old to start with, and maybe initially when it comes out of the ground, it could be mistaken for a part of a knife. On further inspection, it's a small adjustable spanner, quite an old one.
With all this background noise to search through, Simon needs more than his technical ability. Decades of detecting on medieval battlefields means he too has a strong instinct for where to look.
When you're doing these surveys, when you are walking around, you try and imagine the flow of the battle, where the most advantageous place would be to stand your army. And they knew where they were going to attack from. They knew how they could maybe, by looking at the landscape, how they could encircle the enemy, trap them, push them into a narrow place between two woods or into a marsh or against a river. They try and use the landscape to their advantage by looking at it. And I suppose metal detecting is the same, really. You look for the higher ground. where people would make escape from, away from the rivers, away from the marsh. People maybe made escape plans. I know I would. Yeah, I mean, there've been buildings on this landscape 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, and previous to that, and obviously there's no traces of them.
Yeah. So so they pull the buildings down. So there's just thousands of nails everywhere, aren't there? Yeah. And they're literally just spread absolutely everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah. And they're not just one or two. There are literally
thousands,
tens of thousands of these things.
I mean, in a week. Why? In a week, I bet I found close to 1,000.
Yeah. You know, the more bolts, the more distinctive artifacts you can find from the battle, and then plot them. We're just getting this more and more condensed spread of the battlefield archaeology. And we can see that it is actually a battlefield. It's not just a normal piece of land.
No, but the area we're moving to in a minute, over there on the rise, that should be quite exciting.
Right,
because that's on the main route, and it's on higher ground, which will have taken the people fleeing past the marsh.
So we're now in the position between the marsh and Masterby?
Yes.
Right, excellent. So hopefully we'll get even more evidence of the battle then, as people came away from the marsh and then routed towards the village itself.
When the survey switches location, the result is more finds and more crossbow bolts. They're searching directly over the path of the final retreat of the Gotlanders. Beyond them, the only thing standing between the marauding Danish army and Masterby was the farmstead at Grens, where the cross now stands.